Hello and welcome to another crochet tutorial. Today we want to focus on how to sew in the ends of our granny squares, which we made during our last crochet session. What you will need for sewing in is not that much really. It is wool needles or yarn needles. Both are basically the same. What it is important for them is that they have a big eye to be able to thread the yarn through and a blunt point so that during the sewing in we won't split our yarn, which can make it look a bit untidy. Next to the needles we need or some scissors or a yarn snipper. Both work the same, just make sure that they are sharp enough to cut nicely. Alright, let's get right into it. We want to place our square with the right side to the bottom. Remember, the right side is where you can see the V's from our last round nice and clear. On the wrong side you can't see that, so we're facing down the right side and we're starting with our weaving in process. What we need to watch out for, because we did change colors, that we do the weaving in always in the appropriate color as well. So to make the back side, imagine we're making the blanket so that the back side also looks nice and tidy. Let's start with the outer edge. So we thread that through our needle. What we want to do first, because you can see here is a tiny little bump from our casting off, we go through the stitch next to it one time and we go from the next one back through, which makes basically that we are back on our back side where we want to place the sewing in. So we have the turquoise or blue, how it looks like, where the best way to sew in is here, because here from our corners we have a lot of stitches where we can weave the thread through. But first, before we do that, we need to go down a bit to be able to go here a bit up and down. Best way to do that is go here a bit down. Make sure not to split the yarn, and once we are nice far down, we go through here, go back, come out here. Important always to give it a bit tug to get our drape back. You can see now here we come out with our tail here. We skip that and we weave back through the edges. So again, make sure it doesn't pull in like that, which makes the whole thing a bit shorter and smaller. Just go nice back and give it some nice drape. So we come out here, we skip the first post of our stitch, we go under the others and go all the way around. That would be our second time. We have done that, we skip that, and we do that a third time, and we are basically finished. Here we go. So that's done. We take our scissors or our snippers, we pull it a tiny bit, snip it, pull it back, and the whole tail is nice and disappeared. So we do the same thing with the next tail. We go and thread through here 2 or best even 3 times. What is important whilst you crochet your square, always make sure that your tail is quite a bit longer than your wool needle. Otherwise, it will be a hard job to sew in properly. And if you make a blanket or a sweater, you wash it a few times and it is not sewn in properly, then it might be able to, yeah, unravel. And it is really, really hard to fix that. Okay, so imagine we have our turquoise done. Let's go to the next color, which will be our white. We will do the same thing. I take the top one for now. It is over here. We thread our wool needle. So we have our stitch done. So first what we will do is we will go down until we are here at the corner stitches, and then we're starting to weave in our yarn tail. Again, first I'm going slowly down in small stitches, and then once we have done that, we go forward and backward like 3 times, always making sure to nicely go under our stitches. So not through the stitches, but under the stitches. Once we have done that, we open it, give it a little tug to open it up again. Oops. And we go back. There we are. So, okay, now we have done it once, 2, 3 times. So basically we are done. Take off the needle, give that a tiny tug, cut it short, pull it back open, and it basically is disappeared. So we will do the last thing. So we do that with the white as well, of course. And the last thing would be here, our pink yarn. Here, because that will be our first, or that is our first crochet row, we can really go with our yarn the full circle once or twice and sew it in nicely. With that color, we would go down first before again and then sew it in. And then we have our perfect granny square. Thanks a lot for watching. If you have questions, leave a comment. And yeah, we see each other again next week. Thank you. Bye bye.